Flowers dot the countryside. You see rolling hills, beautiful trees, a blue sky above. There's a few specks of ancient buildings scattered throughout. But other than that, seems to be a beautiful, wonderful, and naturally pristine place. Soaring above in the sky, we see a figure. Michael, will you describe your character to us?
I am a avian, the last avian. I have beautiful, I would say beautiful yellow feathers, and I fucked up.
It's the pressure! No, that's the perfect character introduction. I have beautiful feathers, and I fucked up. A lot of my clan is dead.
Like purple feathers.
Oh,
Yeah, dude.
beautiful.
No, that's why you
Putting
looked at
me
me
on
when,
the spot.
dude. That's why I widened my eyes when you said yellow feathers. I was like, did you change your hero forge? Because I saw it.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Wow.
That was
You want to run it back?
No, but dude, you should have
Give-
that as a
give-
monologue.
I think this is the beginning of the
That's
show.
stayed.
For
That
these,
stays.
just give a small visual description, just what we physically see.
Purple feathers.
No, let me. That's gonna be tough to edit.
We gotta keep that, man.
No, that's so good. No, I also love that as a character description. Starts with something banal, right? Like, yeah, I have purple feathers and I fucked up, okay? And people have died around me. That's kind of my deal. That's so good, dude. That was so genuine. I was like, he fucked up.
I have so much pressure.
Dude, chill. It's not that serious.
No,
It's candy.
I know. I'm just like, holy shit, we're actually starting.
Okay, take a
This
couple
is
deep breaths.
too meta now. We might have to cut this out.
Yeah.
Soaring above the treetops, we see a figure. Michael, will you please describe your character to us?
I have a large, billowy, yellow jacket. And I have purple feathers and I'm fucking sexy. Someone else go.
You don't remember ever experiencing this height before. The world looks completely new from here. The breeze is flying through your feathers and you're really taking it all in. You start to descend, and as you do, things begin to kind of warp and change. Some of the flowers start to slowly die beneath you. As you get closer and closer to the ground, you see the trees around you seem to rot before your eyes. As you get closer to the point where you can actually touch the ground, you see that the world around you is corrupted, it's rotted. You look around and there's no one else there. And suddenly the ground itself starts to crumble. You feel this deep sense of panic come in. There's something wrong. You can't quite put your finger on it, but something is happening here. One of the trees behind you starts to slowly morph and shift. It starts taking a more humanoid form. It's this weird, almost otherworldly form of rock and wood just mangled together. It slowly starts to creak into this magnificent shape. It stands above you tall. It looks down on you and suddenly grabs you by the wrist. It pulls you in, looks you in the eyes and says, "Help me." And with that, you are awoken. You wake up in a familiar wagon. Around you is various props and things that you use for your performance. The wagon itself is small, humble, wooden. You hear your two companions snoring in the small bunk beds beside you. As you look out of your window, you see your third companion, a dark elf named Omerath. He's currently holding the reins and using them to steer the wagon. But instead of being attached to horses, they're attached to the head of a giant beetle. As you look outside, you start to see that you are approaching your destination. In the distance, you see Zahario, a once wonderful metropolis, now a little worn down, a little destroyed.
Shubar! Wake up.
Sid, will you describe your character?
Well, I am an absolute unit of a bugbear. 7'2", 320.
Do you wake up Rosh as well?
Yeah, we kick him. Just give him a-
Ozzy,
Oh God!
will you describe your character?
Yeah. So I wake up. I'm a lizard folk with green, icy cold, scaly skin. My eyes sort of dart around quickly, taking note of my surrounding, making sure that I'm safe. I quickly clutch something in my sort of inner cloak and make sure that I have it with me. I look up and I sort of have like a shifty demeanor.
As you continue to ride into town, you see that a slight fog has begun to set in. You hear the bells of a temple off into the distance. You can't quite see it, but they echo throughout the streets. As you look out, you see the worn out, cracked streets are filled with what look to be miners. They all have the same uniform and they're carrying pickaxes. There's a general somber tone in the air as they drag their feet along the streets. You also see a giant rat. It watches you for a second before quickly scurrying away. Eventually, though, you make it to the town proper. You are now surrounded by a mixture of both ancient crumbling buildings and newer, less properly built, let's say, wooden buildings that have kind of been slapped together to add some additional housing. Your wagon grinds to a halt, and you see what looks like a decent place to set up a performance.
So, you remember the routine, right?
Yeah, I remember the routine.
Give me.
Sorry, yeah, I remember the routine.
I don't pay you.
Enough.
I don't pay you to give me sass.
Yeah, that's
If
true.
we're talking about raises, I'd like to just put my hand in here as well.
You can put your fucking paw away. All right.
Okay.
All right.
You hear Omarath's voice. Gentlemen, is this a good spot?
More or less.
This is a good spot. I'm sorry.
You're forgiven. We'll talk about raises another time.
We'll talk about raises. I'm just a bit stressed. Give me the octopus. The eight-legged target.
Okay.
Yeah.
Omarath hops off his little seat in the front of the wagon, flips a switch on the side, and the side of the wagon opens up and forms a stage leading down to the street below. As Shotaro is getting limber and stretching, Omarath does a few things here and there, sets up a backdrop, sets up a few lights on the side of the stage, a few candles, a few lanterns, and he kind of goes around ringing a bell and kind of attract people's attention. Hear he, there's a new performance in town. Gather once, gather all. He's called the greatest bird this side of Elantria. Come one, come all, see him perform only tonight. Ding, 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 ding. And you kind of hear him get distant as he kind of continues making a perimeter around you guys.
I'm trying to shield myself a little bit and just drink the rest of my bottle.
I body block for him.
I look
I
and
just
I'm
stand
like,
in front.
unbelievable. I start getting the ritual ready to cast a Find Familiar Octopus. And then I'll use a minor illusion to set up like disappearing targets. Is what I confirm with you. Good?
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Yes.
As you're kind of having this discussion, a small, meager crowd of about, let's say, 20 people starts to gather around. Omarath starts putting out these really cheap lawn chairs. Only has about 5, so the first 5 kind of get a seat. Everyone else is kind of sitting on the curb or just kind of popping a squat.
I want to do a quick check, make sure there's no threats in the crowd. Quick little perception check.
Ocular pat down.
Yeah, a little ocular pat down. Are there threats in the crowd?
23.
Are there threats in the crowd?
This is why I hire this guy.
Sniffing. He's like,
Yeah, no, with that, you are scanning. You are seeing. You do not see any
That guy's
particularly
safe,
suspicious subjects.
except for me.
Everyone seems to
And
be
him.
maybe a little malnourished, a little weak actually.
Ooh.
But they mostly are the same, or they're dressed similarly to the workers you saw come in. They all have these purple jumpsuit uniforms with yellow logos on them, and they kind of besides looking a little depressed, they don't seem to be a threat. Maybe a threat to themselves.
Oh, God.
Guys, besides looking a little depressed, I think we have a good crowd.
I don't think we
Yeah.
have a lot of
As you say that, Omarath comes to you, Strugar, and he gives you the tip cup. And he's like, "You're doing collections tonight, right?"
Sure.
And you see that he has like a pipe in his left hand, just kind of ready to
Try not
smoke up. And he's
scare
like,
some of them
All
off.
right, go smoke up. I'll take the tip
like,
jar.
"Cheers, mate." And he
I take.
disappears.
How big is a tip jar?
It's pretty big. It's like you're pretty big to begin with, and you can palm it.
Oh, word.
For the rest of them, it would be a two-handed operation.
I'm a two-handed as well because I feel like it makes me look a little more adorable.
Okay.
So I lower myself a little bit so I'm not as imposing and I'm just
Yes, true. Yes.
into the crowd. Donations for the performer.
Wait for the show. I say. Why would they give us money for just showing up? They don't know who we are yet. Wait for the show.
You're
Wait
right.
for the
I'll
show.
wait for the show. Sorry about that, man. And I return to the card. I'll be back though. I'll be back.
I'm just like shaking my head.
I step almost onto the stage, like just enough to get a glimpse of the crowd. And I step back, pick another bottle.
Okay.
Okay,
You got
Ozzy,
this. You got this.
do I have this?
You got this. You
More
got
or
this.
less.
You're the best octopus tentacle kicker I know, and that's a fact.
Thank you. Okay. It's like a silent performance. It's all like it's all in the body, really.
I'm trying not to laugh. Even my like icy cold demeanor is like, oh my goodness, oh my god.
Oh, it's terrible.
I like set up a couple like minor illusion signs. Like as soon as he knocks one down, I'll cast another like
Okay.
little target on my
Okay.
octopus's various tentacles.
Right.
Who I've commanded to just be a
Okay.
menace.
Cool.
Yeah.
And then knock that shit.
You hear like gasp from the crowd and just like a little.
And then I reveal the wings.
Oh.
Ooh.
Everyone kind of looks at you. A lot of
And I
mouths
go
are
back.
open.
And I go back to the dramatic dance. little look at Ozzy.
What do you do?
Yeah. So I give him another target higher up, and then wait for him to hit that, and then I guess I'll.
The distraction.
Yeah, you're thrown off your rhythm. You still hit it, but it's kind of like a clumsy, like you chip it. It's a little, it's not as elegant and beautiful.
My bad. Back to the dance.
I start oohing and ahhing from my just to get the ball rolling.
Okay.
Ooh!
Roshel, you give me a perception check. Continue, Michael.
I lock eyes with children.
Specifically?
Yeah, specifically.
Why?
Oh God.
I do one of these.
Okay.
It's just my fucking job, you know. Making a fool of myself.
Okay. This time, my minor illusion instead of I set up like a firework shooting off behind him and like
Ooh.
sparkling behind him
that's
as
cool.
he's doing like a flip and a
I
dance.
continue with the oohs and ahs.
Nice.
Just oohing and ahhing.
Yeah. And then I do another one. I'm like, we're improvising now. I'm like, okay.
Just winging it,
like
if
a-
you will.
I'm just gonna
That's
do a
terrible.
bunch of fucking flips.
Oh boy. Yeah, bunch.
Oh god.
Oh God, it's going south.
As I fuck up these flips, I start to prepare for my monologue mentally. Oh.
Hey.
You kind of start to do 3 flips. The first 2 you kind of fall and like you kind of start stumbling off the stage. But then on the third one you manage to catch yourself, and it almost looks like purposeful. Like you were like, "Oh, look how clumsy! No, I'm graceful." But really, what happened was you just barely caught yourself. It was whimsical.
After the flips, I kind of lean backstage. I'm like, I'm gonna start collecting things. It's going south.
Why haven't you been collecting them all this time?
You said after the show. I
Said
grabbed the bucket.
roll me.
Donation
Been
for the
standing there
transformer.
oohing and eyeing.
Sid, roll me a charisma check.
Ooh. I do be scared.
They're
of the
not that
kids.
impressed. You're a little pushy with it. You're kind of,
Come on, man.
you don't, you go, money. Maybe after the show. We'll see how this goes.
You have gold. Put it in the bucket.
I'm
They're
just
kind of
shaking.
looking to you. After your flip, you've kind of stopped and you've kind of been standing there, and everyone's looking to you with bated breath.
Yeah, I am. On that note, I am quite ready to end this performance. So I do a little spinny and a bow, and but before they leave,
Okay.
they start to leave.
They start to get up. They're like, "Oh, is that it?"
Before,
Sit down.
yeah. I look at Sugar like, bro. Before you leave, I just have to say a few words. I don't normally speak at these things, but this is a special show for me. Zahario, this great city holds a special place in my heart. Do they cheer? I just said the name of their place.
They do not cheer. They kind of look at you. They're like, "Oh, okay." Roshel, remember that perception check you made?
Yeah, I got a 60.
You see a familiar face in the crowd. Someone you have not seen for a couple of years. Continue, Michael.
Immediately, I tense up and I leave. I dip out the
Where
back
do you go?
curtain. To that familiar face, but I try.
He's like sitting in the crowd. Yeah.
I sort of I go up to Strugar.
Once you start moving, he kind of starts shifting towards you.
Yeah, I go up to Strugar and I'm like, here, let me handle the tips for now. I don't think they've been going that well. Yeah, no worries. And I go and I sit next to.
I do kind of watch to see where
guy.
he's going.
Okay.
I sort of like he goes to walk up to me and I push him into the crowd. And I'm
you
like,
kinda
no,
sit
no,
next
no.
to him?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
I'm looking to see where he's going, mostly because I wanted to see how he handles getting tips. Because I could use some pointers, clearly.
Yeah, and I noticed
watched his
that.
whole thing
I
in
noticed
full.
that, and I'm like, I just give me some money. Just give me some money to the guy. I'm like, I can't explain why right now, but I need you right now to.
I see him say that, and I take out my notebook. Give me some money.
The figure you see is a male elf. He kind of has
That's a good one. That's
kind of
good
a
one.
bit
I'll
of a
remember
skinny,
that.
fat physique, square jawed, clean shaven, long flowing blonde hair. He's wearing kind of fancy clothes, especially for this area. You recognize him to be Titus. Continue with your monologue.
I'm kind of fumbling, I'm like reaching my pocket for the cue cards, and I crumple them up.
They're like out of order.
Shit. Zahario, I was 4 years old when I left this place, when I fled this place. 56 years ago, Zahario was a place I called home. Our home. The home of the avians.
Keep dancing! One of the guys in the crowd shouts.
I stare directly at him, and you,
I stare directly at him too.
your fathers, and your fathers' fathers, the elves, took that away from me. I can't fly because of you. I can't fly. And this is history that you must not forget. The avians were a proud civilization, and we rebuilt Zahario after the Great Obliteration.
The
For
crowd starts
300
turning on him.
I start making my way to the front of the crowd.
All
right. I start stretching, getting limber.
I sort of look pensively up, but then I glance to who's next to me.
As you glance next to you, Rasha, you feel something poke you in the side. You look and you see that kind of under his arm, he's taken out a dagger. And he's not looking at you, he's still looking at Michael, but the dagger is pointed at you.
Yeah.
Do you continue?
Yeah.
I make more.
Why does art have to be so political these days? Boo!
Fuck up. For 356 years.
Settle.
356 years. We cared
This is
for
why I only look
great
at
city.
elven art. Boo!
We prospered on this land. We rebuilt this city. And just 50 years ago, the elves systematically drove us out of our homes. They brutalized us. You killed every last one of us, every last avian. Well,
Wow,
at least you tried. At least you tried.
I go to the front of the crowd. Who's the lead heckler? The one who's really doing the most?
By now, everyone's kind of gone
Who
rowdy.
looks the most beefy?
There is a male elf kind of in the front.
I go to him and
in one of
squat
the
down to
chairs.
his level. Sir, do we have a problem? Because it kind of sounds like we have a problem.
Roll an intimidation check.
Oh, he's scared.
He sits back down. He doesn't say anything. He just sits back down. He's like,
That's what I thought. We don't have a problem. Well done.
um,
I look at the rest of the crowd, just like,
amidst all this
Yeah.
chaos, the figure finally turns and looks at you and goes, "It's been a while."
Yeah, you're not supposed to be here.
Well, if we're playing that game, you're not supposed to be here either.
Ha 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 ha.
Now, I don't know if you know this, but there's quite an expensive bounty on your head right now.
Oh, what a shocker.
Now, here's the thing.
Wait, how'd you even find me?
Please. Come on. You know me better than that. Now, look, I know we go far back, and I used to like you at one point, so I'll give you a chance, okay? If you do me a slight favor, I'll give you a head start. I'll come after you tomorrow. How's that sound?
Honestly, for your standards, quite generous.
You see him reach into his jacket,
I immediately tense up.
and he pulls out a bottle. You recognize it to be a bottle of Elvish Brew.
I quit.
I look at him and I say, "Hey, is that Elvish Brew?"
He looks back at you and he goes, "It is Elvish Brew."
Wow. Sorry.
So it is a bottle of Elvish Brew, which is this very specially made, like elven wine almost. However, inside this bottle, it's very clearly not Elvish brew. It appears to be this thick, viscous yellow.
Elvish blue. I'm just gonna. It's meth.
Yeah, that's something else.
It's completely-
That's different.
Not to be confused with.
all right. I'm just like,
Inside the bottle, it's
Yeah.
this very thick, viscous, almost like deep neon yellow substance.
I sort of look at it and I'm like, Elvish Brew, huh?
Well, that's what I'm hoping you can answer. See, the other day I was given a righteous beating. You know, this thief had stolen a bunch of bread, but right before he passed on, he started giving me this as he begged for his life. Now, I don't know what it is, but maybe you could tell me. Maybe it's worth a few gold, you know, for old time's sake. And he kind of swirls it in front of your face, but doesn't hand it to you. Give me an Arcana check.
Okay, I was gonna say.
That's not how you pronounce that
Arcane
word.
check.
Arcana.
I can't. You did not commit to a pronunciation. Oh my god.
It is Arcana.
Yeah, you said Arcana.
I would 23, nat 20. I would like to know
Who made
in
the bottle?
specific detail
The chemical
chemical
composition.
Who made
exactly.
who blew the glass with the bottle? We want to know that too.
So you don't know what this is. You've never seen this liquid before, so I can't just tell you what it is.
Enough. Like not even in textbooks and stuff, right?
No.
That I've read. Okay, interesting.
But with
Nerd.
23, I will tell you some stuff about it.
Sure.
The substance seems to be of a divine origin. It seems to be incredibly dangerous. You sense this incredible power almost radiating from it as you kind of scan it. It's not only just magical, but kind of has this danger to it. Almost as if you're sensing like radioactivity coming off of it. You also, with a 23, you kind of get the feeling that if he opened the bottle, it would not be very good for him.
I think it's best if you let me hold on to this for a little bit. I mean, after all, you said you can find me at any time. You know where I'll be. You found me once. I'm sure you can do it again. I need a day or two to figure out what this is. I need to check my notes.
Check your notes. I'm not gonna give you this. What if you use it to get a ticket out of here? Use it to get a bunch of gold. What if it gives you superpowers or something? I'm not gonna give you something that could help you win a fight against me. What am I, stupid?
Well.
Sorry, what was that?
Nothing, Titus, nothing. Now, I will say that
Where are you two while this is happening?
I actually don't know what to
quelling
do.
the crowd.
You kind of just.
I'm doing crowd control.
Okay.
I'm not even. I'm just standing like upright.
I do want to.
Are you still on stage?
Yeah, I'm still on stage.
And you're still
I got
going?
a bottle.
You're like, and another thing.
And yo, mama.
And your mama. And your daddy.
Yeah, I'm pointing at the children. Like, your daddy's evil, and you are evil.
Rasha, what do you do?
Yeah. So I do concern, like, for a second, I look up, I kind of make, like, spot strugar, spot shotaro, because I am concerned.
Yeah.
But I look back, and I'm like, all right, I'm going to need more than one day then. If I'm going to help you figure out what this is.
Look, okay,
gonna need
I'm
more
doing
than
you
a-
a favor. Okay, I could have slit your throat in your sleep.
Yeah, but believe me, you want to know what that is. And I'm the only one that can tell you that. It's not in your best interest to hold on to it for much longer. Believe me, no one's going to suspect that I have it. But second of all, if you're really insistent on not giving it to me, no matter what, don't consume it. Don't do anything with it. Keep it in a safe, hidden location. Don't have it on your persons. People will be coming after you for this. I'm asking you for
He kind of
three.
starts to.
I'm asking you for more time so I can figure out fully what it is and what it does.
He kind of
And-
starts to look around the crowd suspiciously now that you said people are after it, and he's like,
Much stronger than you, Titus, believe me. And definitely much stronger than me.
"Why would for the first time he starts to stiffen up, convinced by your deception? Why would they want it? Why shouldn't I drink it? You just don't want me to become more powerful, do you? I knew it. This is like a potion of strength, isn't it?" He opens the bottle.
And I don't smile yet, but I'm like, oh no, you figured it out. Oh no, Titus, no, don't. Please, spare me. Spare my life, Titus, please.
He opens the bottle. He's like,
at this point?
"You fool! You absolute idiot!" He starts to turn the bottle towards his mouth.
And I crack a grin. And I'm like, oh no.
The liquid starts to pour out, but before he can even get it to his lips, it shoots out by itself. It starts to wrap around his skin, and you start to smell burning flesh. He starts screaming, "Ah, ah, ah!" The fucking liquid just envelops him, and you see him collapse onto the floor, twitching. And yeah, the crowd sees this. Everyone turns around, and they see this yellow liquid
I walk eyes with
engulf
you.
and
I'm
start
like-
burning him.
I cast invisibility on myself. Just like that. I'm gone.
You guys watch as Ozzy goes invisible, and you see this figure in the crowd who's now just burning up with this like yellow liquid that is just engulfing, and it's somehow like it started with this much
Bottle
liquid.
shattered, right?
Like
I
he
can't
dropped
take-
it.
Oh,
He dropped
it's
it and
gone.
it shattered.
Okay.
It started with this much liquid, but somehow it's like becoming more. Like as it's touching him, it's like spreading and engulfing him. And for a second, he's just on the floor twitching. And then suddenly he starts to rise.
I start yelling for people to clear the place.
The crowd starts freaking out as this half
Clear the
decomposed
fuck out!
and melted looking zombie covered in yellow goo
What
starts
did
looking
you
around.
do?
Oh, that invisibility came so clutch.
Roll for initiative!
God damn you.